Hey, this is Seth Clendenning, and I'm here with you today to remind or teach you how to set up a template using Google Calendars, which we use for our Homework Hotline system and for our class bulletin. So, to inform parents what we're doing in our classes, or other staff, or team study teachers, or like I said, students, so that they know what. Um, Assignments are due when, or what they should be doing in the future, or even what they're doing in that class for if they miss school that day. And again, the biggest reason that we do this is for, let's see, where is it? Danielsons framework of teaching, which is tied to our performance as teachers. And Danielson's framework for teaching says 4C, communicating with families about instructional program and engagement of families in an instructional program. Got lots of other reasons. It's free. Tech initiative, but here is the tutorial. Okay, so you should be logged into your email, hopefully, if you're at your computer, logged into email right now. That's great. So go to your email, and then up here in the top right, you got some important stuff. And for this here is called the apps button. So click on those 9 squares, and then go to calendar. Okay, you can kind of see mine's a little bit more chaotic possibly than yours, doing kind of a lot of experiments here. But up here is what we call the all day area. And so don't click down here for these events, even though you could, but this is the easiest way to do it. So find the little space in here and click somewhere in between these timed areas and this up here. So I'll click right there, okay? Now what are you going to title? You're going to title it according to your class title, which for me last year was Geography Clendenning. Probably you are ELA, and then your last name, but you want to have that title correct. If you mistitle it now, we can change it later. For me, next year I'm actually teaching 3 different interventions, and I'm also teaching, and it's at 3 different grade levels, and I'm teaching social studies on 2 different teams. So what I'm going to do is do a social studies Clendenning today. Now, you should find that calendar that I shared with you, and it should be titled something like this, Geo Clendenning or ELA Clendenning. You should just have one. So you're going to choose the correct one. For me this year, it's actually just going to be Clendenning. All right, so it's important that you choose that correct one. Then you can go to Edit Event. And that's right next to Create. If you hit Create, it's not a big deal. So for example, if I hit Create Event now, I can still click on it. Okay, but what we want to do is when you hit Edit Event, it'll take you to this screen. So if you hit Edit Event, it should look like this. All right. Okay, you should notice that it's all day is already checked. What we're going to do is set it up for the 2014, 2015 school year. So click here. We want to arrow over to September 2nd, which I believe is our start time. And if it's anything like last year, we probably won't be done until about June 12th. Okay, so don't change that yet. If you do, you'll have an error. What we want to do is all day, so it's 1 day long, and then do a repeat. So again, just 9-2 to 9-2, repeat. Now, what we want to do is check Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, unless you don't meet every day. If you're a PE teacher, maybe you don't even want to do this at all. Okay? So when did we start? We start on September 2nd. When are we going to end? We don't want to have never, because then it'll be for the next 10 years, and probably won't be teaching the same thing. And we don't want to have summer events and that kind of thing. Okay, so go on. So again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday starts on September 2nd on. Then click here, and you can arrow over all the way to June 2015. And if it's anything like I said, like this year, we won't be done until, well, thankfully we're done in the middle of June, but it could be worse. And it's okay if it goes a little longer. All right. So it should say weekly and weekdays until June 2nd, excuse me, June 12th, 2015. Should say weekly, we didn't change any of that. Repeat every week, because yes, you have class every week. And then hit done. Okay? Look like that all day, repeat weekly and weekdays until June 12th, 2015, September 2nd. Good. Now, I've changed the format just slightly. In class, remember that's the category for what we're doing in class that day, our classroom activities. Next is due today. So any assignments due on that day. And then last, I changed this to assigned. I think that's a little bit less confusing than homework. In the end, it doesn't probably matter that much, but we all use assigned to be consistent. So what did you assign that day? Okay? Now don't fill in any details. I would leave a space in between. Doesn't mean you have to. If you have more than one class, then you could title those. So let's say you have an advanced class, and then you have a basic class, but you don't really want to title it, so you might just title it by period numbers. It's probably the most politically correct to do that. So period 5, and if you want to put the title, you could, okay, right there, and then just do the same thing again for those each ones. Okay? For me, this is just going to be my social studies classes. So I'm just going to have, oh, I don't need to delete all that. I'm just going to have one set. Granted, I could have done this for you, but I think it's good for you guys to know how to set this up. Okay? So, it should look like that. That's really all you need to do. Make sure it's the right calendar. Should say, mine says Clendenning, and I've changed that, but yours should say Geo or ELA or Music 6 or Art 6. Okay? Let's see. That's all you need to do to set up the template. What do you do next? This is that same event. I titled it for social studies, and I'll actually go over to September 2nd on my calendar. Should know how to do that. And notice I have all these social studies events now showing up. I'll click on that. Then, to edit those individual events, you just fill in the details. I sort of have no idea what we're going to do on the first day of school, but I'm sure we'll go over some sort of we'll go over, let's see, a get to know you game. I use my baseball introduction game, which is a lot of fun if you guys want to use that. They write down single, double, triple home run, and then guess things about people in the class, see who it is. And we'll go over, I'm probably going to introduce a syllabus to my 8th graders this year, and that'll probably be it. Do today, you can put nothing, or I just leave it blank, because why make extra work? Did I assign anything? I'll say get syllabus signed by Friday, September, and I believe that was 5th. Okay? Alright, so that's really all you need to do. You fill in those details. If you had something that was due, probably not going to have something due on the first day of school, though it is possible. Okay, so hit save. This is a very important part. You only want to click only this event, because you're going to change each day, so just hit only this event. It is updated. Now, if you're not sure if it's working, you can go to our Homework Hotline. So, our schools, Horace Mann. So you get to the Horace Mann webpage, go to Homework Hotline toward the bottom, go to your team, Now this is today's date, so I've got to go over to September, click on that day. Okay, and there it shows up. Notice it does not show up for every day. It just shows up for that day. All right. That is the basics of setting up templates and editing an event. Nice job.